Put the beat up.
But he works, I'm not even going to see him today. He works all day and he has to take care of his kids. So he bought me this hotel in his name, and we thought I'd be able to sign into his account on my phone, and you can like use the phone as like a key and everything. And it was like, oh, we need to see an ID.
Oh, damn.
So they're probably going to fuck me. He like tried to put me as like a note on the room, and they're going to like call, like I'll try to get them to call him. But I almost guarantee you they're going to be like, yeah, we can't do this without him here.
Has it happened before?
Similar. There's been a bunch of times where we had to have like one of the promoters show up, like drive like 30 minutes from his house to come to come and just literally say, hey, yeah, these kids can go in their room. So, see how that goes.
Is that what usually happens when you come out here? You just
What?
get like a hotel stay?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, last time I was out here, I had a hotel with the other guys that were playing on Earthquake Weather. But every other time I stayed at like the Disciple House, where like Cooper and all them were at.
Yeah.
I stayed there probably more times than anywhere else here, 5 or 6 times.
Feel free to hit this. This is a sponsor. Plug and play.
Oh, I'm good. What is it even?
It's just weed.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
All right, cool.
I think so.
All right, so let's start. Let's get an intro.
Intro.
Yeah. Who are you?
My name is Chemist, from Portland, Oregon. I've been doing this for like 4 or 5 years now. Fucking love doing it. It's my entire life. Yeah.
Cool. How's Portland?
Portland's pretty sick. I really like living there. My music career basically started when I moved out there, traveling like 3 years ago. Every show I've ever played, I've flown out of that airport out there. So Portland's sick. I love it. People are great. The weather's great. Yeah.
Nice.
What about like the music vibe there? Is there a scene?
There's a scene there, but I would definitely call it way more of like way more house and techno, which I love. So I go there. I go to shows there, pretty often. It's pretty sick there. As far as dubstep goes, there's not really that great of an underground scene there. I mean, it's definitely been building up since I started going to shows out there. I've seen people that normally sell out venues only do like 5 or 6 people on a Wednesday night. So the dubstep's not so great out there, but it's getting better. Yeah.
Nice. So out here for the Space Yacht Earthquake Weather Show.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, just found out about that not too long ago. I'm really, really excited to play for them. I've been seeing videos of them for a very long time, and just all the other people in the lineup. The special guests that are on the lineup are really fucking sick. I promise you, you can trust me on that. That's gonna be really sick. But it's a pretty legendary nightclub from what I see, just for other genres as well. So yeah, really excited for that.
Nice.
Yeah, I think as far as like name brand, that's probably one of the best shows to play right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I mean, there are some people that I know from back before I even started making music hit me up and were like, shit, like you're really playing there. Yeah, it's cool.
Nice. Is there any other places that like LA or any other like event production companies that are known outside of here? Like do people know of LA for like this particular kind of company?
Yeah, definitely Space Yacht. Space Yacht is definitely more widely known. I know a lot of people know about the Red House guys as well. Back a couple years ago, I used to see a lot of people rocking like Get Heavy gear up in Portland, but that's pretty much about it. It doesn't really stretch too much up there, but I definitely see a lot of knowledge of that around.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just like I think it's been pretty recent, in my opinion, where they started kind of getting more into underground dubstep, specifically at Space Yacht.
Yeah.
'Cause they've always been into dubstep,
Yeah.
but I think as of recently, like they just had the 40 ounce takeover. They had the bass weight with Ominous.
Yeah, which looked really sick. I actually work with Sub Artillery Nima up in Portland. He moved up there a little bit ago, and he was telling me about it, and I'm watching the videos from it. It looked fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's dope that they're gonna keep on continuing with this. It seems.
Yeah. So it's I mean, it's pretty open that you're kind of excited for this show as well. It's
Yeah.
something-
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I took it up, and I have to be at work at 4 p.m. tomorrow back in Portland. So that's saying something. Yeah.
That's a tough one, but
Yeah.
it's worth it, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna be dying tomorrow. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us a little bit more about your pre-music days. What were you doing back in Portland in the day?
I'm from Philadelphia area, and in Pennsylvania.
You grew up there?
Huh?
You grew up there?
Yeah. I grew up there. I only moved out to Portland roughly 3 years ago.
Okay.
Before that, though, I was like super hardcore, like rave kid. I started like DJing and stuff like that here and there. But yeah, I was like super hardcore into dance music. I mean, I always have been doing a lot of that, just going to shows every single weekend, and eventually it just kind of turned into wanting to get more serious about it.
Is there a good scene for that out there?
For like what being like
Raving and stuff?
oh yeah, in Philadelphia, yeah. It
Oh,
was
really?
it was insane. I mean, Philadelphia is the type of place where you still go and you can find warehouse parties. I mean, I know you can here too, but definitely. But like Philadelphia, you know, it's they have a very good rave scene there. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a lot of underground.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of underground parties there. I don't really know if I can't say what's happened there in the last few years, but I mean, I even played like a warehouse party there the last time I was there. So it's definitely got those vibes.
Were you just generally into electronic music, or were you into one particular?
Honestly, I've been listening to trance probably since I was like 12 or 13. And
Okay, so you're hardcore then.
yeah. I mean, I used to play I was like super into playing Dance Dance Revolution my entire life. So they kind of started from there. And but I've always been really into house and trance, mostly trance. And yeah, I probably didn't even start liking dubstep till about 5 years ago, to be totally honest. I didn't really like the bro steppy stuff that was going around at the time, and I started hearing some like more underground sounds, specifically from Subliminal. You guys know Subliminal, that like UK label, yeah.
That's a pretty interesting switch. Going from trance.
Yeah, I still love trance. I love house and techno. I make house and techno on the side. I also really love dubstep now. Yeah.
House, I think, is a little bit more, at least similar in some ways, but trance, the styles are so.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah.
It's totally different. But I don't know, when you break it down, it's all music. It's all the same thing. It's all about progression of music. Yeah.
So what are you making right now? I mean, obviously dubstep. But
Yeah, obviously dubstep. And no, I did go off on a little bit making some techno tunes, and I actually have a psytrance remix or a remake. I did have a Virtual Self tune that I've sent off to a bunch of my friends. A lot of people have been playing that. Al Ross has been playing it like every show. So I've been doing things like that. I got a bunch of new dubstep tunes. Not at the rate I have been making them, just because I am about to move and it's been a little bit hard. But I've been working on techno tunes. I got some house tunes, and I actually have been incorporating some of those into my sets now because there's been this massive acceptance of other genres in dubstep sets now, which is amazing. We need to keep on going that way. Yeah.
When do you feel like that switch just started happening?
I mean, I don't really know. I just noticed it in like the last 3 or 4 weeks all of a sudden that everyone was posting videos of them playing psytrance tunes, and I'm like, I'm here for this. This is cool. I'm totally, yeah.
So growing up, were you like a music kid always, or were you playing sports, or what were you doing food?
I was really into hardcore like back in the days, and I played bass in a couple of bands. I did vocals. I could kind of play guitar. I could kind of play the drums. Was never really.
So you're just always a little bit musically
inclined. A little bit musically
overall.
inclined. No formal training though. None at all. Nothing like that.
So when did music start becoming actually a part of your life in terms of you DJing, producing, that part of it?
Kind of when I finally started learning how to use FL Studio.
Uh-huh.
That's what it was for me.
Were you still in Philly at this point?
Yeah, I was still in Philly at that point. When I started learning how to use my DAW, that's when things started to change, because I knew what I wanted to make musically, but I was not very good at actually playing the guitar, actually playing the bass, actually playing the drums. So I can write music, but I just was not very good at actually playing it. So that's when things started to change. Mm-hmm. When I started to sit down and put the hours in and really, really figure out what I was doing. Yeah.
So at that point, you're still in Philly.
Yep.
What makes you make the move to Portland?
Me and my girlfriend, we wanted to move out. We wanted to move out there to be with, some of her family and all that. So
this was what, 3, 4, or what did you say, 4 or 5
years? Like 3 years ago, roughly. Yeah, we moved out there to try it out, and I was basically kicking and screaming going out there. I really didn't want to do it because I knew all these people in Philly, and like dubstep shows were starting to get really good in Philly, and I was a little upset about it. But honestly, it was probably the best thing that could happen to me for productivity, because I was away from everyone. All I did was work. That's it.
Just making music.
That's it. Yeah. I made like one friend the entire time I was out there. Really? So yeah, because I was so busy. I was constantly I was away every single weekend for shows, and yeah. It was great though.
So how does your schedule work? I mean, you get booked up on weekends and you fly back in, go to work and work on music all week?
Yeah. And like I said, it hasn't been so much that recently, but normally my schedule would be, I play shows on the weekends. I come back and I work as a chef. I would work that like maybe Monday through Thursday or Friday, just like 4 or 5 hours a day, but I work on music all day and then all night. And just do that. And a lot of times I was playing when I was on tour with like Hesh. We did like 3 shows one weekend, and I come straight back the next day to work 4 days straight, do another 2 shows, work 5 days straight, do another 3, just like that.
How is that like in terms of like you going like playing, you're with your homies, everything playing, and then like you're on the airplane back and you get back home and you're just like, all right, well, I'm back home working. Is it kind of like you need the break, or is it just
it sucks. I mean, going back to work was so hard. I remember it, just absolutely dreading it sometimes, but my work was really supportive of everything, so it didn't feel as bad. But it really sucked going from like one extreme to the next, and especially like if I was coming home and just going back to working on music, it would be different. But I was also working that job, then working on music, getting ready for the next shows.
Mm-hmm.
Stressful as hell.
Yeah, how's it coping with like the whole traveling situation?
It's pretty hard. I voiced an opinion on it recently on Twitter. It sucks sometimes, and I don't even touch what some other people do in terms of traveling. But having like I have like my girlfriend back home, so like I have like a nice like rooted home life, my girlfriend, my dog, and it does suck sometimes when you couldn't even sleep the night beforehand because I don't know, you're just like hyped up. And then you gotta get ready to go to the airport at like 6, 7 in the morning. It sucks. It takes its toll on you mentally sometimes.
I think it's more than anything that, like the mental toll that it takes.
Yeah, I mean, you're just tired. It just breaks you down. You're tired, and you just feel like screaming sometimes.
Yeah, airports suck.
Yeah,
sitting there, it's like.
Yeah, last week coming back from Montreal, like every single one of my flights got delayed, and like I'm so tired. I'm trying to figure all this out. Yeah, I hit like a breaking point in the morning, and then as I actually like wake up as the day goes on, it gets better. But yeah, no, it definitely sucks. It can really just totally tear you down when you find out that like all your flights got delayed. You just want to go home. Like that's it. I just want to go home. I just want to go home.
You're just stuck.
Yeah.
It's like, I gotta wait 3 hours to fly 3 hours, and then.
Yeah, I had what was a 3.5 hour layover in Chicago turned into a 5+ hour layover, and.
I've heard stories about people waiting like a day. I'm just like.
Yeah, I mean, there was sometimes where there was one time here even where I had to just flat out buy another flight because Spirit canceled all their flights for like an entire day.
Damn, they just canceled them?
Yeah, till it was like I was flying back on a Sunday, and I think it wasn't going to be till Tuesday that I could go home without paying.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
When did you start establishing like your brand as Chemist?
Shit. I mean, probably almost right from the beginning. I kind of had that nickname.
How did that start?
I won't go totally into that, but that was like my rave
Okay.
days,
Okay.
and it was just kind of like a nickname. It was just like a you know, a nickname I had. My girlfriend actually made it up, and then I realized that would actually be a pretty marketable DJ name, because if you type in my name as it is on Google, I'm the first thing that shows up. The same way that you have murder and sudden death use the V's.
Yeah.
You type in their name, it's going to show up. You type in my name, I'm the only thing that shows up, as opposed to typing in the full word chemist or something like that. So yeah, no, I had that nickname, and I just figured out from the get-go that would be like a pretty marketable thing. I can do a lot of different things with image down the road once I got more money for it. And yeah.
That kind of leads into the whole carbon situation. How? I mean, you knew we had to ask about it.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
How are you now at that?
I don't really care. And my thing from the beginning was it bummed me out. I saw it and I was like, it wasn't even trying to be a little bit different. You might not have known it. Might have. I don't know. I can't say for sure if you did, but yeah, no, it bummed me out, and there were a lot of negative things said from, there were some like petty negative things said from him, and I just tried to keep it real, and pretty much the entire dubstep community had my back on that, which was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and it was quick.
But, yeah, it was very swift, a swift fucking of him on social media. I feel bad, but
it's because he tried to even from the beginning when he was saying, what did he say when he was like, just play along with it, like this is just for clout, right? He was trying to go like that route.
Yeah.
And then you even told him no, and he still tried to keep doing it, and it was just kind of ridiculous.
Yep.
I found it funny when Subtronic was when he added who was it, Black Label or something, or Never Say Die.
Yeah, he fucking tagged him in it. My god.
He's do they know you're stealing people's brand and everything? And he made that apology. It ended up being kind of funny.
Subtronics is my day one boy. If there was ever a moment where he could chime in to help me out on something like that, he definitely does. That was really cool to see.
Cool.
Yeah. Got lots of messages from bigger artists that I never would have thought would have, they might not have had my back on that, but a lot of people did. It was really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool, but at the end of the day, he can do whatever the fuck he wants, but people are gonna, people might think lesser of him for it or whatever, but I'm not a mean person, so if he wants to do whatever he wants, I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing. I think that people will support me a little bit more than him, and Yeah,
I think it's funny how it all might work out at the end of it,
Yeah. Honestly, it just benefited me by him being a dickhead to me. It was when he started making petty insults, but it all benefited me because people were tagging me and shit for weeks about it, people making memes and stuff, and it was just putting my name in more people's heads. So
definitely. Yeah, for a solid 3, 4, or 5 days, it was just Twitter was
it was just an absolute shit show. Yeah, it was great though.
How did you say you toured with Hesh?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was it was my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
It was like a mini tour, but it was that was the best few shows.
Where'd you guys go?
And we went to Kansas City. We were in Minneapolis. We played here in LA. For that. That was a pretty big Get Heavy show. I'm not remembering everywhere right now. Chicago, Detroit, all those places. Yeah, it was a really good run. Denver, and he came out to chill with me at shows and stuff too. So
nice.
It was
you mentioned you're gonna move back to Philly. When you move back to Philly, is there gonna be a certain certain spots you want to hit when you go back at first?
What, for venue wise?
Yeah, because you said now that you're on the West Coast, you kind of for the
cities wise. I already have a couple things coming in. I think we're doing South Carolina. I'd like to be able to go back to Florida. I have people hitting us up in Boston, Connecticut, and stuff. Going to those areas was not really a reality living on the West Coast, because some of the companies that are throwing it, they only want to do so much money or whatever, which didn't make sense with how much the flights cost going from coast to coast. So now, for anyone that's living on the East Coast, you're going to see a lot more of me playing shows there, in the same way that when I moved over here, it's easier for me to go to San Francisco. It's easier for me to go here. It's easier for me to go to Salt Lake City, all those, popular areas.
So like in those cases, do you generally like say a company wants to fly you out, but they're on the East Coast, they can't afford to, throw you a couple more like bucks for it. Do you not take the booking, or do you try to at least get the flight paid for?
Well, I mean, usually, like generally speaking, they'll go all in. Like this is X is our offer, and if I'm not going to make that much money off of it, it's almost not worth it. Sometimes we outweigh, whether or not it's just a really good opportunity. Like I've played a lot of shows like that. They're a good opportunity, but if I'm gonna play a show and not make enough for me to, survive, pay my bills and whatever, it's not really worth it. We could wait for another opportunity.
What have been like some of your favorite cities playing?
Montreal.
Yeah,
Montreal.
Montreal.
I'm fresh from there. I was just there. I just played there on Friday. Nice. So I'm fresh from there. Montreal's my favorite. I love LA. Chicago is always really good. Detroit.
Who'd you play with in Montreal?
I played with Drop and Bass and Alpha Squadron. They're two of my homies doing that stuff. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like what about other international?
France was insane too. The French people are just absolutely insane at shows.
Yeah, they got a good scene out there.
Yeah. And then obviously like Australia too. Massive shout out to everyone in Australia. They're really crazy. I've gone on tour there twice now. So, yeah, they're insane as well. But definitely, my favorite place to play is Montreal, hands down. Yeah.
How's the city vibe there? Like, where would you compare that to?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. It's just something about me with Montreal. It's such like a comfy city. Like if I go out to the bars with my friends there and stuff, like even though I don't speak any French, people are usually super nice, and I end up making friends with random people at the bars. Everyone's very welcoming there. It's just like love going there in the winter and just like eating like really fattening food and drinking a lot of beer. That's pretty much what you do there in the winter because it's so cold. It's great. It's a great vibe. Everyone's very, very friendly.
Because I saw somebody post something about like their trip to Montreal, and it's like they quoted a picture like nightlife something, right? And it's like the streets just packed.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it gets doing stuff, being active at night.
Yeah, certain streets that some of the venues are on and stuff like that, it gets really, really crazy. Yeah, there's I'm pretty sure the area that I just played in, I think they have like an entire street, but like no cars can go down it. So it's just bars and street and just people walking. That's crazy going everywhere in there. Yeah.
What's your plan moving back? What are you like looking to do now?
Same thing, but get back a little more serious again. My studio has been set up in my living room in my current house. I have an apartment, 600 square foot apartment, tiny. My studio's right there, so I can't really work on music all the time because it would be rude to like my girlfriend and all that, and whatever. So I'm gonna have an actual studio room now, where I'm gonna have everything set up. I can finally set up decks instead of like having to clear stuff off of another table. So that's my plan. I'm getting like an actual studio set up. One of my boys that went to school for sound is going to come over and we're going to get it all set up and soundproofed and all that. So it's going to be sick. I'm really, really, really excited for that because I'm going to finally have my own room to just sit and work.
Full studio.
Yeah.
What about tunes? What do you got planned for tunes?
Tunes, I got a lot of things right now that I need to find homes for. They're definitely. I've got a lot of things I'm really proud of. Some things that need work, but I'm pushing for some label releases. Have plans in the works to do some stuff with Chromatic. We want to put out an EP. Yeah.
How do you approach releases? Do you have your label just like email?
I mean. I haven't really had too many label releases, and most of the times I end up just becoming friends with the people that were the labels beforehand, and then we just kind of end up talking. I haven't released on Never Say Die or like anything like that, so I haven't really got my foot in the door with those guys yet. But I have a feeling that my newer tunes will be up to par for that. So,
besides this show, you got anything coming up?
Not at the moment. Oh, I have a show in Portland. Like, it's like a week before I leave there with Sub Artillery. that's pretty much the only thing I have as of right now. I have a potential tour, full U.S. tour that I'm working on, potentially in August, September timeframe. But yeah, the area in between there is going to be a lot of me moving back and me getting like resituated again and getting everything set up, because it's going to take a little bit to get moving after that. You know, it might not be till July till I start putting out tunes again. But I have a lot of unreleased tunes right now that I could fill up that time with.
Mm-hmm. It'll be like a good regrouping period.
Totally. I think that was the best thing, was getting out of my comfort zone when I moved to Portland. That helped me out, you know, productivity like a ton. So it's like you said, till I get back there, I regroup and everything. Yeah. I'll start flying again.
In a more general sense, like, what are some of your goals for the next year or two?
My goals are really to, you know, try and get some more record label releases and really figure out if I can make this like a solid, like, constant thing, and figure out what I, you know, basically, like you said, like, I need to like regroup, go back there and just see what's going to happen. Just put in a ton of work for like an entire year. I'm gonna like not work. I still might have a part-time job when I go back, but my main focus is going to be 100% music, and I'm actually going to be working with one of my friends back in Philly. He does live sound. I'm gonna learn other sides of, you know, the music industry.
Yeah.
So I feel like that might help me out a little bit more too, and give me a little more perspective on that. But yeah, I'm gonna just kind of tag along with my friend and watch how he does sound and stuff.
Yeah, that'll definitely help out. We interviewed Martz the other day.
Yeah.
He was just telling us that he also just kind of started from the tutorials, learning this and that. Yeah. And then now that he's kind of established, he's going actually back to school to try to learn like the actual like.
Yeah, that's something I'm considering too. You know, I said I'm going to give myself a year to just focus on Chemist, and then you know, if it becomes if I'm playing shows all the time, then that's cool. But if not, then I'm gonna wait another year, and I'm going to, you know, I might go back to school for music or some sort of side of that to get like formal.
Exactly. Yeah.
Formal training.
Yeah. Nice. All right. So what time's your set tonight?
11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. Just
right. Who else is on we got
Kozik,
Sweldo,
Crowell,
Hanta.
Hanta.
Yeah.
I think it's probably Zella. I'm not sure.
Zayla, DJ Zayla, the opener.
Yeah.
And then who are this is not coming out for like a week, but it's Sweet Tooth. It's Sweet Tooth. Yeah.
Yeah, Sweet Tooth and Yachts.
Yachts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was either Yachts or Uber, but Uber just played, so I figured it was Yachts. Yeah.
No, so it's gonna be really sick. When I found out they were the two people on that, I was really fucking hyped then. Yeah, because those are both my boys too, so it'll be really dope.
When you come out here, like, who is it that you hang out with? Like, who are your homies out here?
I usually end up hanging out with Benz. I feel like I see him more than anyone. But yeah, like him. I always see David. I always see. I just have like a few other like homies here that are just like, they're not like producers or nothing, but I always see Yax. I've seen Danny Sudden Death here like pretty much every time. It's surprised he comes out to the shows all the time, so that's really cool to see him. He'll be there tonight. Probably chill with him tonight. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of hang out with a little bit of everyone here, but most of the time I end up with I feel like I end up with Benz. I think it is.
Yeah, Benz is fun.
He's the best, man.
Yeah.
He's the best. But him and what's his name, Venom, we always chill. So, yeah.
Cool. All right, man. Anything else in particular you want to talk about?
Not necessarily. No, I don't think so.
Cool, man. Go get some rest up before the show.
Yeah, for
do
real.
your thing.
Figure out where the hell my hotel is.
Thank you for stopping by and doing this.
Thank you.
We'll see you tonight.